Rashad, why you didn't hit me up?
What's up, Rashad? Hey, Rashad.
What's up, Rashad?
Thank you, Rashad.
Brother, I love you, brother.
What's up, Rashad? What it do, boy?
Hey, Rashad.
Oh, yo, what's happening? What's up? What's good? What's happening? My name is Rashad Milligan. If you are new to the channel, man, this is the road to 5K, 10K subs. Oh my goodness, I'm stuck in the past. All right, I want to see this clip from StubBuzz first. Because apparently Tisha Hydeman said something about Caitlin Clark wanting to be on StubBuzz. So I want to see this first of all. And we'll go from there. I think she said she wanted to be on there. And yeah. This early stream, early stream, man. We here 10:30. Hey, look. I was watching AMP Big Baller Brand, so hey, I'm gonna get back to it after I stream though. But yeah.
Team.
Wow. She shouted us out?
That's so lit.
Wait, who shouted us out?
Hootie hoo.
Caitlin Clark shouted us out.
Oh, yeah, what she say? She said she want to be on the stream? Yeah. StubBuzz. StubBuzz, unite. Say she shouted out the 72-hour stream. She said she wanted a course so she could be on the 72-hour stream. Don't worry, girl. You'll still be on there.
You'll be on there.
You'll be on there. Team.
Caitlin Clark. Speaking of Caitlin Clark, let's get into it, man. You guys know the thing, man.
Angel.
For real?
Hell yeah.
It's lit.
Hey, every rebound ours, I know that. So I can shoot now. I can shoot however I want to.
Come on now.
I know.
Come on now. Come on now. Let's get into it, man. Let's talk business. What are we talking about? How's everybody doing out there, man? Let's get into it, bro. All right. Here we go. These are the reserves. Okay, where are the rosters at? Okay, is this it? All right. Yeah, July 8th. It's July 8th. Let me get some water first. Okay, bet. All praise to Allah. Oh, well, God, I'm sorry. Captains Caitlin Clark and Nafisa Collier draft the rosters for the 2025 AT&T WNBA All-Star Game. If you are wondering, Rashad, why don't you just react to the broadcast? Because if I react to the broadcast, Disney will literally come into my crib and just it'll be no more streams. It'll be no more Rashad. It'll just be like, what happened to him? Mickey Mouse did something. All right, anyways, shout out Malika Andrews. I saw she hosted the show. That's the dog. If you know, you know. Aaliyah Boston. Okay. Team Clark. Your first pick was Aaliyah. Team Collier, first pick was Bree Stewie. And I believe it was she had on her Unrivaled shirt, I heard. So that's cool. That's funny. All right. Team Clark, second pick, Sabrina Nescu. Oh, okay. All right. And then Collier, Nafi went Leash. Oh, she's saying Leash. That's kind of like her Leash MVP cosign. It seemed like. Dang. Caitlin, third pick. That's crazy. Asia Wilson fell to the third pick. It's kind of crazy, gang. Pick number 5. But I do want to take the moment to say, Asia Wilson, heal up quickly. Please heal up quickly. You hate to see that. You know what you mean to the game of basketball. You know what you mean to the WNBA. We appreciate you, everything that you offer to the game, to the young girls on and off the court. Get better soon, for sure. Your personality in the post game is perfect, and it just makes for good clips on the channel. You know, I don't know. Just come back soon, man. Get back soon. All right, Nneka Nwumike was the next pick by Fee. Okay. And then Satu was the last starting 5 pick. And then Fee went with the rookie, Paige Beckers. Dang, that's crazy. Hey, you know it's a stat group when Paige go last. All right, let's get to the reserves. Let's see who the last pick was, bro. That's what I'm interested in. Who was the last pick? All right. So who went first? Caitlin? No, it was Fee. Fee went with Court first. Caitlin went with Kelsey Mitchell first. Okay. All right. Then it was Skylar Diggins. Okay, for Fee. Then it was Gabby Williams for Caitlin. Okay. Angel Reese for Fee. Oh, everybody was wondering if Caitlin was going to take Angel Reese. She did not. She took Gabby Williams over Angel Reese. and then Caitlin with Sonia Citron. So then Fee went AT. And I ain't gonna lie, Fee roster looking kind of good. And then Caitlin went Kiki Yuriafen after. So she got both the Rickies from DC. She got Sonya and Kiki. Okay, then Fee went Kelsey Plum, KP, and then Caitlin said anything you could do. She pretty much just kind of did like a response to everything that Fee did for real. She went Jackie Young. Okay, Fee went with Ryan Howard. Caitlin with Kayla Thornton. Oh, so Kayla Thornton was the last pick. Hey, Kayla, KT, what you gonna do, man? They calling you out first time All-Star, 13 years in, 10 years in, and they picked you last. What you gonna do about it? You know what I'm saying? I expect a big performance from KT. But yeah, man. Off first look, I ain't gonna lie, Fee's roster looks better on paper, but the game isn't played on paper. The game is played on the court. I don't know if Asia's gonna play, bro. I don't know how serious. Let me see if we have an update here. Asia Wilson injured her wrist with 4:13 remaining in the second quarter. She was subbed out at 2:22 and will not return to the game. That's it. That's all we have right now. Right now, the press conference is going on, so obviously you guys will see that after the stream because I did an early stream. Look at that. Look at God. And I might clip up. I don't want to promise that I'll clip up, but I might clip up Becky's answer. Nathan Snell was Hannon. I might clip up Becky's answer when asked about the specific status of Asia Wilson, if she has a status update. If it's one of those, I don't know, I don't have an update, then I won't be doing it. But if she does, then I'll be doing, I'll be clipping that up so you guys can see it and the other people can see it that weren't necessarily tuned in. Asia feel better. But yeah, off top, I got Fee's team. I got Team Collier, brother, all the way. Yeah. I got Team Collier. But salute to Team CC. Maybe the underdogs win, bro. Shank said with Asia injured, who may Clark replace her with? Clark won't pick her. It'll be the WNBA. It'll be Kathy Engelbert. So who are some players that didn't make it? Bree Jones didn't make it. Let me see. Dearica Hamby didn't make it. Those are two bigs. If you're just looking in the front court. Hold on. Let me pull up WNBA snubs for you. But hold on. Let me see. I'll say all snub team right here. Okay, so he got Camilla up here. Azurá Stevens. I know a lot of people wanted Azurá Stevens up there. But these are three forwards. If they go guard, then it's definitely obviously right there. So okay. Shank said Hamby. But Big Nate said Bree Jones or Azurá Stevens, Z Stevens. I don't know, man. It's a big decision. It's a big decision for sure. But I'm thinking off top, the Sparks already have an All-Star, and they're like 6 games under 500. So you give them 2 All-Stars. But then again, if you go with Bree Jones, you give Atlanta Dream 3 All-Stars. And I'm not sure if the Dream are like kind of just soaring as high as they used to were, like, you know what I'm saying, couple of weeks ago. See, they're still 5 games over 500. So I think that's good enough to get 3 All-Stars. But, I might have a little bias there. I don't know. From watching them all the time. Cardoso, I don't think Cardoso's going to get it because she missed time to be in the America. So it'll either be Z. Yeah, I guess it's going to be a Los Angeles Spark, bro. It's probably going to be a Los Angeles Spark, dog. All right, cool. So that's who I think is going to replace Asia Wilson. So with that, on Team Clark instead of Asia Wilson, yeah, I think they're about to lose, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. I think them folks about to lose. Okay, let's stay with basketball, man. DB, Dewana Bonner. She's getting a lot of criticism from Fever fans, and it makes sense. It's a part of sports. If a player is perceived to quit, give up, people are going to talk about you. Fans going to talk about you. The media going to talk about you. That's just the way it is. It's been like that since I was a kid, ever since I was following sports. Like, you think about the TOs, you think about, the players who sit out. I remember James Harden. Remember when James Harden got fat to get traded from Houston? Like, I've seen so many players kind of like pout their way out of situations because they weren't happy with the current situation, with the organization or whatever the case might be, things of that sort. Shank said Clark picked one player that's in the same sex relationship. Pretty difficult in the WNBA. Me thinks is Hamby gay. No. De'Erica Hamby is straight. She got mad kids. and she from a that's my dog. That's my dog. We went to high school together. Shout out to D Hamby. Anyways, Nathan said define quit. Did Tina Charles quit on Phoenix? Yes. when you force your way out of an organization in the middle of the season, yes, I do perceive that as people can look at that as quitting. So yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I'm a Fever fan. I'm happy for Bonner to go suck on another team. That's harsh, but that's sports, bro. Like I said, that's sports, dog. Like it happens. Like I said, in every sport. Like if you are frustrated with your current situation, but it's the middle of the season, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, I don't know. Like I think a lot of fans kind of view it as this, right? I'll just give this perspective, and you can interpret it as whatever you want. You go into the season with a mission. Our mission is to go in as a unit, as a team, and finish the season, to go through the entire season and compete for a championship. That's every sport, every player, everything like that, right? There's some people who are like, I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know if I want to compete for it. I don't, we're a rebuilding team. We're a young team. We just want to go out there and play hard. And that's what we want to do, right? But other people, most people, it's like, I'm coming in with this group, with this unit, and we want to win the championship. What front office, organization does, management, what they do, that's out of my hands. That's out of my control. But as far as I control, I want to stay with this team. I want to see this thing through, and we want to win the championship. It just is what it is. So when you, as a player, kind of force your way out, stump and say, I'm not happy with this. I don't like the situation. Get me out of here. Get me to the next thing. I'm ready. In the middle of the season, in the middle of the mission, it can be perceived as quitting. So yes, that's what I mean by quitting. Shank said she knew what she was getting into. Bizarre. Nate said, so if you sign with a team and clearly there's a lack of communication about what your role is that really quitting? Yeah. Yes. Yes. It's like, right? If I get a job and I go into the said job with an expectation to be there for 2 or 3 years, and I'm there for first 6 months, and it's nothing like what they told me when I signed the paper. If I leave after 6 months, that's low key quitting, bro. Like, because I told myself going into it, all right, I'm gonna give this job 2-3 years, and I left after 6 months. That's low key quitting. That's how I view it. Like, even if it's not what they told you, like what the job was going to be when you signed their offer sheet, I think that's quitting. So yeah, that's how I view quitting and everything like that. Regardless, the thing with DeWanna Bonner, like, people talking crazy about DeWanna Bonner. Like, I came into this thing wanting to defend DB just overall because she's a legend. And I feel like the way that people talk about legends is crazy. Like the way that Cheryl Swoops is being talked about anytime she talks about Caitlin Clark is insane. Because first of all, Cheryl Swoops, I don't think a lot of the people that talk about Cheryl Swoops and this and that understand that she scored 47 points in an NCAA championship game and won the championship. Like, that's insane. And she did it in the 90s where, like, it's a whole different game now where you're running up and down and teams are scoring 120 and 90. Like, this was back in the 90s where people weren't scoring like 90. Like, it's hard to see in some national championship game settings in college to see teams even score 47 points as a team. She scored 47 points as a one player. So, I mean, I don't know. I think people, like, there's no respect there for their legends and for the OGs and for the people who's at the president. However, if we're just talking about fans and sports and the way that it's presented, yes, it's like this across the board. T.O. quit. Kobe was trying to force his way out of the Lakers, like, it was looking like, you know what I'm saying? Kobe quit. If LeBron goes to another team, right? LeBron goes to another team, you like, dang, LeBron quit. Like, when KD, when they were up 3-1 against the Warriors and beat the Warriors, no. They what they did? They came back 3. No. They were up 3-1 on the Warriors, and then the Warriors came back and beat them in the Western Conference Finals, and then the Warriors gave up a 3-1 lead to the Cleveland Cavaliers in the finals. But when KD, after losing to the Warriors, after being up 3-1, and he joined the Warriors, what people say? KD quit. Everybody said that. I mean, you know, Nate, you from the DMV. You fit in, it don't fit you. Mark Leno Perez, or I'll just say Pays. Her role was supposed to be another scorer, not just another player with 6 personal fouls. 100%. I mean, like, it's like, okay, if you had a specific role and you signed to a team and said, this is our vision for you, we want to do A, B, and C, I still think, like, as a professional, bro, like, and I understand it's a slippery slope because it's like, on one end, organization, they're not going to have no type of patience with you. They're not going to have any type of morals or like values with you. They're going to cut you when they want to cut you. They're going to trade you when they want to trade you. It is what it is. And sometimes they might not even tell you. Who just went to Vegas? Dejanay Carrington girlfriend, Nalissa Smith, right? Nalissa Smith was like, wow, I didn't have to see that coming. Dejanay get on Twitter. Dang, y'all just traded my girlfriend. Y'all just broke up the family. Dang, what are we going to do with these dogs? They didn't know, right? They didn't know. But however, you know what I'm saying? Like, business is business, sports is sports. All right, hold on. He said, another follow-up question. Did KD quit on OKC? Yes. 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 KD quit on OKC, bro. He quit on OKC. But I mean, his rings still technically count. Like, I can't be like, his rings don't count because he won them, bro. Like, he still won his rings. So shout out to KD. Alex Corbin said, evening to you all from ATL. God bless you. Shout out to the A. The A is in the building, man. Shout out to Alex Corbin, man. But yeah. I think KD quit on OKC. That's just how I view it, bro. Like, if you give up on the team, like, people who I don't see is giving up. Russell Westbrook at OKC. Russell Westbrook extended his stay in OKC before he left. Who's another person? Damian Lillard. And come on, man. Come on, AC. Appreciate the love, brother. I need to start going live like earlier. Like, it's people in here, the chat popping. It's crazy, man. Shouts out to the chat. But anyways, what is it? Russell Westbrook. Oh, yeah. Damian Lillard, bro. Damian Lillard in Portland. He didn't quit on Portland. Like, he extended his time. He was there. He did everything he could. He stayed too long. I think overstaying your welcome, I look at that as like not quitting. Anything shorter than that, when you guys are still in the thick of it and you still have a chance, I look at that as quitting. I'm not going to lie. But that's just my personal like viewpoint of it. And I think that's sports across the board. It's not just DB. I'm not just like, DB, you quitter. I seen someone, I'll say this. Here we go. A girl is now jobless in Phoenix because Bonner quit on the Fever to go play with her wife. This league is so unprofessional. I will never root for DB. I wanted to say this, bro. Someone else was like, because, you know, DB showed up to the game last night and she was courtside and they said, y'all give it up for former Phoenix Mercury DB, former Phoenix Mercury champion. They gave her a standing ovation and stuff. And someone said, this so nasty. She went to the game and just looked on the bench to watch the player that she was going to replace and take their job the next day and cutthroat. She's cold. She has no heart. And I'm just like, yo, chill. At the end of the day, it's a business, right? If there are 12 roster spots and you have someone the caliber and the resume of a DeWanna Bonner out there available and wants to sign with your team, you are going to do what's necessary to do that for your team. It's like Kevin Durant. We're going back to Kevin Durant. This time, 2025 Kevin Durant, right? A Houston Rockets fan was like, man, the Rockets are going to miss Dylan Brooks, what he brings to perimeter defense and the hustle and the intangibles that he brings as a 3-and-D player and the grit that really brought this team together. I think that's the reason why the Rockets were a number 2 seed last year, right? He did this whole thing about Dylan Brooks and how important he was. Someone just quote tweeted it and put one simple sentence: they got KD. At the end of the day, bro, it's like, man, yes, this player who's on the bench is a great woman and she worked hard for her position and her job in the WNBA and on the Phoenix Mercury. If you have a chance to get DeWanna Bonner back on the roster, regardless of how bad she looked earlier this season, because like I said earlier discussing the situation, Tina Charles, right? Tina Charles looked horrific in Phoenix, right? She looked washed. She goes to Seattle. She finished up that season and looks decent, right? And then for a year, nobody signs her. And then Atlanta calls her up. Hey, do you want to come play for your old teammate, Tanisha Wright in Atlanta? She said, bet, let's do it, Dan. Daps him up. All right, we come down to Atlanta, and she looked amazing last season. She looked like the old Tina Charles. She looked like she never lost a step. So it's like that could definitely be the projection for DeWanna Bonner. If you have a chance to bring in a DeWanna Bonner in your lineup to back up Satu Sabali, who, knock on wood, has the history that she has with playing and things of that sort. Now you have a viable option to not only back her up, but replace her whenever what happens. Knock on wood. Once again, I hear what you're saying, but I think this is a dang if you don't, dang if you do, dang if you don't. I think there's more to what happened, in my opinion. Shank said, "Why do you recon the Valks have been so successful this year? Better so far than any other first year franchise, and looking like they're going to the finals." I think another reason why the Valks are doing so well this year, first of all, the Valks have. I'll argue this, Shanks, because you're a Fever fan. I was arguing this with my friends last night. I brought up this point, and I'll bring it to the public now. And I know y'all might jump me. It is what it is. Hey, it is what it is. I think the Golden State Valkyries have the best fan base in the league, bro. Like, they travel well. They pack out Chase Center every single home game. And I think it's more impressive because they don't have a star player. Like, they don't have Caitlin Clark. You know what I'm saying? They have Caitlin Clark's teammate, college teammate, and Kate Martin, but that's it. Like, they don't have Caitlin Clark. So I think, first of all, they have the best fan base in the league right now. And shout out to the New York Liberty and the Atlanta Dream, just two other franchises with great fan bases as well. But Golden State is up there, bro. And obviously the Fever have the most popular team because of Caitlin is the most popular player. But yeah. I think that's first of all. Another reason is a lot of those players played together in Atlanta. Like, these are a lot of former Atlanta Dream players. Like, when they signed, when they signed for a brief moment, the scorer, Area Powers, when they signed her, they had like 4 or 5 former Dream players on the same team. And a lot of the overseas players and rights that they were getting over the offseason, whether it be an expansion draft or just through free agency or whatever like that, a lot of those players are extremely veteran, experienced players and things of that sort. So, you bring a lot of experience into the locker room. And even though it might be a first-year franchise, it's not a first-year locker room at all. Like, they're all professionals. They all know how to come together and put together successful seasons. Caleb Thornton said that they were all like role players on their previous teams. So it's like you get a bunch of role players coming together. There's no ego. One of the biggest things in basketball and in team sports, period, is everybody has a role. Everybody knows their role. If everybody has ego, you kind of clash. It doesn't work. How many times have we seen super teams where this guy, look at the Phoenix Suns last year, right? They get Bradley Beal averaged 30 points in Washington. Devin Booker averaged 30 points in Phoenix. Kevin Durant been averaging 30 points his entire career for the past 15 years, right? They all come together and they can't win a game because everybody trying to score 30 all the time, or they trying to be too unselfish. They try to be too humble. And in the back of their mind, they're like, dang, I could really carry this team if I had to. So egos, lack of ego, understanding your role and being humble enough to accept your role, I think it's a reason for their instant success, in my opinion. Nathan Snell said the Valks have been successful essentially because positionless basketball. If you look at the roster, at one time they were starters for different teams, 100%. In fairness, that team in Phoenix was terrible from a coaching standpoint. I don't know about that. Fever fan base is half the WNBA now. Okay, so this is what I said, Shanks. Like, they have Caitlin Clark. It's like, I feel like Fever fans are Fever fans because of Caitlin Clark. Like, it's a difference. I'm trying to think of like a good example. It's like LeBron James, I think, is a good example. Like, you have a fan that will come to a city one year in a Cleveland jersey for the Cleveland game, and they, let's go Cavs. Next year, they'll come to the game in a Lakers jersey. Let's go Lakers. Next year, they'll come to the game in a Miami jersey. Let's go Heat. You know why? Because they aren't fans of those teams. They're fans of LeBron. I remember a friend of mine growing up, middle school, high school. He didn't have a favorite team. Of course, now his team now a little more settled in. He likes the Atlanta Hawks. He's from Atlanta. We from Atlanta. But growing up, he didn't have a favorite team. He just rooted for wherever Melo was. And that's the case with, I think, Caitlin Clark. If Caitlin Clark, they expand to Portland, and Caitlin decides to, her contract runs out in Indiana, and she decides to sign with Portland. All y'all fans is gonna be Portland fans. Like that's why I say like Golden State has the best fan base, because there was no prior history and there is no star, like no Michael Jordan. Like Caitlin Clark is Michael Jordan with her popularity, bro. You know what I'm saying? So wherever Caitlin goes, that's where her fans are going. Just like how they travel well for Caitlin, they're Caitlin fans. Golden State, they're Golden State fans because there's no star to hold on to. Nathan said, that's why I don't understand why individuals pick them to win less than 10 games. It's extremely ridiculous. Oh, he was talking about Golden State. I mean, I don't think it's ridiculous to think that they were going to be bad before the season, because like just logically, right? Logically, first-year teams just don't do that well. You know what I'm saying? It's not like first-year teams going to the finals. That just doesn't happen. I remember the Dream, their first year, they made the playoffs, and it was like, oh snap, they made the playoffs their first year. Ivory Latta, they lost. They didn't win a game in the playoffs, but they made a push, and that surprised me. So I don't think a team has done that since the Dream. If I'm wrong, you guys can correct me in the comments, but I don't think a team's done that since the Dream in 2008. Let me see. But yeah, that's how I feel about the DB situation. It's like folks want to be mad that, she got a player cut because she wanted to play on Phoenix. When you're as good as DB and you work for the resume that DB has, it is what it is, brother. It is what it is. All right. Players for the Fever are getting huge crowds, jersey sales, and sponsorship. Fever girls are getting more personal fans because of Clark. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But they aren't like, okay, how do I explain this? You can go to the game with an Aaliyah Boston jersey. You can go to the game and, like you said, shout out the Fever girls. Like, say there's a Fever girl named Brittany. Brittany, we're big fans of you. We follow you on Instagram. At the end of the day, if Caitlin Clark got traded to the Charlotte Sting, it's over with. Like it might be some leftover fans that might be like my introduction to women's basketball in the WNBA or the Indiana Fever and Caitlin Clark. It's like Chicago Bulls fans in 2025, right? Like most of those Chicago Bulls fans, especially if they're not from Chicago, is because they were fans when Michael Jordan was there. Michael Jordan introduced me to the game of basketball. I'm going to be a Chicago Bulls fan for the rest of my life. You're going to have some fans like that in Indiana, but at the end of the day, they are Caitlin Clark fans. They're not Indiana Fever fans. Look at the fans that Mitchell has now, Erie has now, Boston has now, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, Shanks? Like, I feel like what I'm saying is kind of like, you know what I'm saying? They have fans, like you said, because of Clark. So if Clark leaves, they will be fans of different players. Like, you don't see like Timmy don't got a big fan base now, in Golden State. People aren't going to the Golden State games like Timmy. Like people aren't doing that. Like they moved on to whoever else. And now they Sydney Colson fans, the same fans who's fans of Femi, Timmy. They you know what I'm saying? I think you are right to an extent, but there are so many fans for the Fever. Even the residue of fans to stay with the Fever will be significant. Yeah. For sure. I hear that. I can agree with that, Shanks. Nate said, my only issue is I don't want anyone to forget Aaliyah, Kelsey, or Natasha. They're not going to forget them. Like, just like how those Iowa girls, Kate Martin and Gabby Marshall and Warnock and all them jokers, like, because a couple of them got a podcast, don't they? They got a podcast. The podcast is doing well and stuff like that. Like, Caitlin, people... How you say it? Okay, so you watch a TV show, right? I'll give an example for me. I'll say Atlanta. So for me, I'm a big Donald Glover, Childish Gambino guy, right? So I was tuned in to Atlanta, despite the fact that I was on the show season 1. That's a flex. I'm tuned in to Atlanta to support Donald Glover, Childish Gambino. Everybody else on the cast at the time, they were unknown actors and actresses. Like Zazie Beetz wasn't that known. Lakeith Stanfield wasn't that known, and Byron Tyree Henry weren't that known. I'm watching for Donald Glover. Donald Glover got me watching Atlanta and supporting Atlanta. And then, dang, while I'm watching it, hey, Zazie Beetz, she kind of a good actress and she's funny. Yo, Lakeith Stanfield is a star. This dude is so random. Brian Tyree Henry, he really convinced me he's an actual rapper. So now I'm watching Brian Tyree Henry on the dang Marvel show. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching Zazie Beetz on the Deadpool series. I'm watching Lakeith Stanfield and whatever movie and TV show he does now. So it happens. Like, you're gonna stick with those people being introduced through the person you initially came in for. Yes, they do have one. And but Aaliyah had out of all those people you said, like Aaliyah Ben had a big fan base because South Carolina, you know, the fams, they are crazy, bro. Like the fams is like it might be in women's basketball. Shoot, I'll say. Would you say Caitlin Clark has a bigger fan base than UConn? That's a question. That's a question, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I might have just did something there. We might have just came on to something, Shanks. Chat. We got a few people in here. Do y'all think currently Caitlin Clark has a bigger fan base than UConn? I want to know. I want to know what you guys think. Okay, because that's something I'm thinking about right now, dog. Because I think obviously the big three of fan bases in women's basketball right now would be Caitlin, UConn, and South Carolina. But I don't know who's number one. I honestly think it's about the same. Paige has her fans. Caitlin has her fans. It's different, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like Paige has been lit since she was like 16, 15. But I'm saying what I see in person, bro. Like what I seen in person the first time Caitlin came to Atlanta. I've never seen that. Like, I'm keeping it a bean. I'm keeping it stat, a gangster, whatever the case, whatever you want to say. Caitlin, her motion was different, bro. Like, I'd never seen Jordan on the Bulls, right? Like, I was too young in person. I'd imagine that's how it was watching Jordan when he was on the Bulls. Like, he was like, everybody just gravitated towards him. It was like a pull, you know, something that you couldn't deny, an undeniable pull. And that's what Caitlin Clark has, like, in person. But Angel Reese, man, I'll tell you, them kids love Angel Reese. Kids, adults. Like, I seen a grown man, bro, waiting for Angel Reese outside the tunnel in Atlanta, her first game in Atlanta, with the LSU jersey. Like, it was wild, bro. Like, it was wild. I'm not gonna lie to you. Angel Reese has some fans too. But Caitlin's fan base, it might be a little bigger right now. And I'll say this because of this. I think at the end of the day, you just have to look at like the demographics of like America, bro. If you know, I think Angels, man. All right. I'll just say it. We straying away from basketball, so I gotta, you know, kind of stir this thing back in the middle. But Angel obviously has like the Black community on lock, and she has a lot of other fans outside of the Black community, a lot of white fans and things of that sort. But Black people, we only make up for 13% of the population in America. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's only so much. So like every single one of us could buy a pair of Reeboks from Angel Reese. Every single one of us can buy, you know, Angel Reese piece like I got in the, you know, in my pantry. But, you know, it's only 13% of it. We only count for 13%. So it's like if it's just 26% of people, you know what I'm saying, supporting Caitlin, like it's bigger. You know, it is what it is. CC's fan base sells out shoes in 1 minute, sells out basketballs in 2 minutes, sells out jerseys. Can you even get one? Yeah, no. Caitlin is Like I said, Caitlin's for real. Caitlin's following is strong. So Shanks thinks that Caitlin is above UConn. I don't, man. UConn is like UConn is different, bro. Like they travel like the Dallas Cowboys, like the Los Angeles Lakers. UConn does because they've been doing it for 3 decades. So it's like it's tough for me to just put Caitlin over UConn. I think Caitlin versus Angel, Caitlin got it. But in terms of like programs and stuff like that, Caitlin might be more popular. South Carolina following is crazy too. In the South, Shank said, I didn't say she was above UConn, but I like to see the numbers. Okay. All right. Well, let's do Instagram. I don't know if that's a fair metric because you're talking about a program versus a person. I think more people are more inclined to follow a person than a program. But let's just see on Instagram, right? Oh, UConn don't even have 1 million on Instagram. Yeah, like I said, I don't think we can count. Let's see Facebook. Okay. Let's see if Facebook has more. Oh, we'll just do a full sweep. Facebook is even smaller, bro. Only 200,000. That's crazy. That's crazy, gang. Okay, so that's Instagram and Facebook. Let's see Twitter. They had 200,000. Okay, let's go YouTube. 45.
There's an expectation here.
Don't get me copyrighted, Gino. I don't know. He said, let's do money. All right, let me see. Value. What's the value of UConn's women's basketball? UConn's women's tops 3 million in ticket sales. This was from January. Let me do Geno Smith network. Geno Smith. Geno Oriema net worth. His net worth, his salary was about 10.9 million from 2013 to his net worth has not been disclosed. Let me see his contract. Geno's contract. 18 million. Gosh, dang. Gino, let me hold $1. Gosh, what we talking about, G? SSB, what's happening? Early stream, brother. Right now we're talking about who you think has, like, how would you rank? Would you say Caitlin Clark has a larger fan base than UConn? Would you say Caitlin Clark has a larger fan base than UConn? I think it's a serious question. Because, like, UConn, like I said, they move like the Cowboys. They move like the Yankees. They move like the Los Angeles Lakers. Like, they travel extremely well. Like, everybody's a UConn fan when it comes to women's basketball. So I'm like, I don't know, bro. And then let's put up Caitlin Clark endorsement earnings. Oh, well, let me just share the tab first. So Nike reportedly signed her 8-year, 28 mil. Okay, so Caitlin Clark, WNBA, only 1% of her total earnings. Excuse me, my bad. 1% of her total earnings. Okay, so she's currently in the deal with Nike, Gatorade, State Farm, Wilson, Hy-Vee, Xfinity, Gamebridge, Lilly, and Panini. Nike is the most valuable endorsement deal. In April, Swoosh signed her to an 8-year worth more than $3 million on average. Okay, so if she gets about $3 million from Nike, right? Gino, he gets about what? That's about more than $3 million from UConn. But it's just, you know what I'm saying? It's just them. Let me see where we at. CC's fan base is a bit frail, to be honest. Caitlin Clark's estimated financial impact of the WNBA. Well, okay, if you're doing impact on the WNBA, like, you got to look at UConn, bro. Like, UConn make up for the whole WNBA. like 75% of the WNBA is UConn players, bro. For 2025, projections estimate her impact could range from 875 million to over 1 billion. Right wingers on the internet using CC for a culture war that doesn't count, in my opinion. Hey, SSB. They don't know how we get made. Look. Hey, SSB. SSB know we get down because I'll be going live in the middle of the night, like 2:30, everything like that. We be getting down, man. Some of y'all see the replays and stuff like that. Y'all see the replays, but yeah. But SSB don't hold back. SSB and Zero, them jokers don't hold back, dog. UConn's women's basketball is a brand. It's been here before CC and will be there after. 100%. So you're saying, so you're saying, but I'm just thinking like in terms of right now, if you had like say Paige's last game, because I don't think it's fair to say like UConn game right now. When it's like, okay, they got AZ Foot, Sarah Strong, like the train keeps moving, but it kind of had to build up the popularity of Sarah a little more because she was just a freshman and things of that sort. Like AZ's pretty established, but she's not as big as Paige because of injuries and things of that sort. If it was Paige's last game and you said you put it in Cowboy Stadium and you said Paige Becker's last game at UConn, get your tickets. And then you said Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever at Dallas Cowboy Stadium on Saturday. I think, I ain't gonna lie to you, gang. I'm gonna keep it a bean. I think it's more people that's gonna show up for the Caitlin Clark Indiana Fever game right now. Can I look up the attendance for Indiana before CC and after? Oh, well, we know that's terrible. But you got to look. Okay, if you're gonna do attendance, let's look at UConn's attendance. UConn women's basketball average attendance. All right, let's do that. So they had 12,000 fans in the the team played at both Gamble Pavilion with the 10,000 capacity and then the XL Center with the 15,000 capacity. So shoot, this is like the whole thing. How much did it increase after she enjoyed? Okay. Can you explain why left woke people hate CC? What did she do to them? All right, bro. So Shanks, first of all, chill. But it's like with Caitlin, I think it's more so just like her fans, her following. It's like folks don't even care to do the research. You know what I'm saying? Of like who came before and what has been done before. Because it's like you will never know. Like the most viewed WNBA game was like the first one, right? They had like a gazillion views on viewership. So it's like, you see these numbers that the WNBA puts like throughout the PR of like, it's the most viewed game on ESPN, this most game viewed on ABC and this and that. And it's like, dang, if we looked at the numbers for real, we have seen the most viewed game was like the opening game, the first ever game. And then it's stuff like when Cheryl Swoops speaks on Caitlin Clark and his critiques based in basketball, like, dang, Caitlin Clark turns the ball over a lot. ABC, Angel Reese, she needs to finish better around the rim. She's undersized, and what she's doing at LSU might not work as well in the W because those are big girls. It's a big girls league. It's a grown-up league. She needs to learn how to at least get a jump shot so that she doesn't have to bang down low or something, have to figure it out. And people like, who is this old lady, this old bitter black woman, the woke left, all those things, right? And it's like Cheryl Swoops, the greatest player of all time. Like she's undeniably a top 5 player of all time, and a lot of people will make the argument that she's their GOAT. Cheryl Swoops scored once again 47 points in the national championship game and won the national championship. If Caitlin Clark did that, folks would be thinking she the greatest thing since like they already think she's the greatest thing since. So it's like the reason why people have such angst, kind of pushback against Caitlin Clark is because her fans kind of just dismiss the history of what occurred, what was accomplished beforehand in the space of women's basketball, the WNBA, and things of that sort. Because, to be honest, the push of Caitlin Clark, the popularity of Caitlin Clark, the Caitlin Clark phenomenon is because of Paige Beckers. You know what I'm saying? Paige Beckers had motion in high school because she was up in Minnesota. She was up in Minnesota at a time when Minnesota high school basketball also had Jalen Suggs, and they also had Chet Holmgren. All 3 of them were getting a lot of attention. So because of that, Paige she was kind of benefiting on being in Minnesota at the same time as those two dudes. So Ball is Life, Overtime, all those people, they were in Minnesota covering the high school games. So Paige became a superstar on the internet, you know, kind of like Mac McClung and all those guys, like Ball is Life All-Stars. So it just became a thing, right? So in high school, she was on the cover of Sports Illustrated with Eric Gilbert. Marietta Great, praying for his health and everything like that, mental health. And she goes into UConn. She kills UConn her first year. And people were like, dang, Paige getting all this attention because she Black and she played for UConn, and ESPN has a UConn bias, which ESPN admitted in a documentary that they had a UConn bias, but only because of its proximity to the UConn campus. Like Connecticut, ESPN's in Bristol, Connecticut, and Bristol, Connecticut. Storrs, Connecticut is in the same state. I don't know how many hours. I'm not from up north. I'm from the south. So it's like people were complaining about Paige. Paige wins the ESPY for Women's Sport of the Year or Sportswoman of the Year. She goes up and gives that speech that you guys see all the time. And she says, Black women built this sport on their backs and they don't get the credit. And then she cited, I forgot who wrote it. I'm so sorry. But I reference it a lot on here about how the WNBA is made of 70% women, but 50% of the coverage goes to white players. And, you know, like that's just how it's always been in women's basketball. And I think a lot of women's sports and stuff like that, of how like the white women would get more coverage, more endorsements, more money than their Black counterparts and things of that sort. So it's like, it was already a thing. Paige pointed it out, and Black people was kind of like, okay, I guess we can rock with Paige. Paige gets hurt sophomore season. Caitlin comes in, and she's continuing to do the same stuff she did as a freshman, but people weren't paying attention as much her freshman year because Paige Beckers was killing. So now Caitlin, she's killing, but Caitlin does it in a more kind of like, it's a lot more flair. And Paige played with a lot of flair in high school. Like she was moving like Pistol Pete, behind the back, no look passes, you know, deep threes, look off threes and all that. She was doing that in high school at Hopkins. However, she goes to the system with Gino, and Gino like, nah, little twin, you playing basketball. So Paige's game was more of a purist basketball game to watch in college. And then she gets hurt. All the attention goes to Caitlin. And Caitlin, she had no leash in Iowa. She just half court, no look. She doing all that. Because of that, Caitlin gets the fans. She also talks trash. She's fiery, so people like that. And, you know, it's good competition. She talks trash. And it was the perfect storm when Angel was doing the same thing, transferring to LSU. And they the same high school class and everything like that. And they meet in the national championship game. Angel does what Caitlin did a game before, and the rest is history, you know. So, you know, you could talk about Caitlin explosion and Caitlin method and stuff like that, but it all started with Paige Beckers. Indiana Fever's home attendance in 2023 was 4,000 fans a game. It surged up to 17,000 fans a game, largely due to the impact of drafting Caitlin Clark. Did people get upset with Tiger Woods or the Williams sisters because they were Black in a white people's game and the fans didn't know the history of the players in their sport? Yes. Look. Hey, look. Shanks, I'm not that old, bro. I'm 30. So it's like I'm like 4 or 3 years old in 99, 98. You know what I'm saying? When both of those players, well, you know, 3 of those athletes kind of went up in their sports. But I saw in real time, I remember a lot of them like receiving a heavy amount of criticism, just being Black athletes in predominantly white sports, like fans and the media, like, oh, they think they're this. He said, horses. I'm 60. I watched all of it. I'm telling you, Shanks. I seen it, bro. I seen it, dog. He's saying horses. I seen it, bro. But folks was on the Williams sisters' heads for having the beads and the braids, for doing the dance. Who's these Black girls from Compton? I've seen people call Tiger Woods all slurs. I've seen people talk about the fans who only follow golf to follow Tiger Woods. I seen it all, bro. And he's still saying it. I was there, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I'm young. Like I said, I'm 3-4 years old when they first kind of popped up on the scene. But like I remember 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. Yeah, for sure. Which other WNBA teams draw big attendance? Like I was saying earlier, Golden State and New York. New York plays in the Barclays, and they have a pretty good thing with Barclays and stuff like that. And then Golden State is done well too. Hold on, what did Nate say? If Paige doesn't get hurt, it's a different story. There you have it. Ken Griffey Jr. refused to play for the Yankees for what his father experienced when he played for them. The Aces, don't forget about them. Oh yeah, the Aces, but the Aces, they play in a smaller arena usually in Vegas. Like they play in the hotel. And then for the big games, they'll move into the big arena. They travel well though, because Asia just has a big fan base. The Mystics can draw a crowd. The Mystics games be empty though. A lot of the games, like the big games. I mean, if it's not a big game, their games can be a bit empty. But do the Mystics play all the games? And they don't play all the games in Capital One, right? They don't play all the games in the Wizards arena, right? They just moved the Angel Reese games and stuff like that to Capital One. From what I remember. Cece's gonna have to win to sustain her popularity, in my opinion. What I'm seeing, bro, is like I want to see Shanks. I want to see. I'm interested. I hope you didn't leave too, Shanks, because we need your voice in here, like in real time. Like your voice is valued, bro. But I want to see like how stuff is gonna look, bro, because Paige is kind of like officially bounced back from her injuries. And she's starting to look really good. And now Caitlin's hurt. And Caitlin's been out for a little while with her groin injury. And Paige is just getting better and better and better. I want to see how that looks with if Paige, I'll just say for a long extended period of time, I'll say that. If Paige outperforms Caitlin, like what is the conversation going to look like then? I'm just curious because it's like people can go against Angel Reese because, all right, Angel Reese isn't, you know what I'm saying? She isn't a hands down. You could argue she's the best player in the league. You can't do that with Angel Reese. Now, Paige Beckers, we're going to have some conversations. We're going to have some conversations with Paige. So I just want to see how this conversation and everything is going to look with Paige if things keep trending the way they are. No, they moved from for Indy and Chicago. They were in George Mason because Capital One is under renovations at the moment. Oh, the Dream did that when Phillips Arena, which is now State Farm Arena, when it was under construction and renovation, they were playing at Georgia Tech. CeCe has become the best player, if not top 2, top 3 in the league. I think Caitlin Clark is top 10, bro. I think she's. Oh! You said she has to become. Okay. Yeah, I agree with that. Most of us agree. Care First Arena might have been a wave much longer because it can only hold about 4,000 to 5,000. That's what the Dream are dealing with now. Their arena can only hold like 3,000, but they've been trying to get out for a little minute now. They just under contract, so it is what it is. Let me see if I can see sisters. Hingis claims of racism nonsense, quote unquote. This story what year is this story from? But it's Richard Williams discusses the treatment his family has received in Indian Wells. Richard Williams said when he and Venus were walking to their stadium seats to watch that match, people kept calling me the N-word. If things have changed, I was walking down those steps. That guy went and called me the N-word. He said that if this was 1975 N-word, I would skin you alive. And at that point, I turned to walk over, and then I remember what my mom had taught me, to always be peaceful if it's possible. And I tried to be the best. I tried my best to be peaceful. The boos that went on in there, the way that the crowd treated this family, and especially my 19-year-old daughter out there, it was all I could do to keep from crying. Referring to the racial taunting, Indian Wells tournament director Charlie Paracel said, if Richard said someone yelled something, maybe they did, but I did not know. But I know that's not Indian Wells people. What does this remind you about, guys? What does this remind you of, everybody, from this year, from the WNBA season? Does this remind you of a situation? Richard Williams said someone called him the N-word multiple times, and they said, N-word, if this was the 1975, then you would have had this and that happen to you. And then they asked the director of it, and he said, if he said they said something, maybe they did, but I know my people wouldn't say that. What does that sound like? I'll let you guys say that. But yeah, so that's the Williams sisters, right? And that's their come up story. Let's go to Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods, okay. A history of the racist remarks aimed at Tiger Woods. Sergio Garcia, who made inflammatory remarks towards Tiger Woods. Okay, 1997. I was 2 years old. Fuzzy Zuler's comments are probably the most infamous of them all, as Woods was rolling to his monumental win at the 1997 Masters. Zuler, in his post-final round interview, had some interesting remarks about the 21-year-old. He's doing quite well, pretty impressive. That little boy is driving well and he's putting well. He's doing everything it takes to win. So you know what you guys do when he gets there? You pat him on the back and say congratulations and enjoy it, and tell him not to serve fried chicken next year. Got it. Or collard greens or whatever the hell they serve. Come on, bro. Hey, let's pull it back up. Hey, let's put it back on the big screen. Let's put it back up on the big screen, man, so folks know what we're talking about, man. Did people get upset with Tiger Woods or the Williams sisters because they were black in a white people's games and the fans didn't know the history of the sport? He's doing quite well. Pretty impressive. That little boy is driving well and he's putting well. He's doing everything it takes to win. So you know what you guys do when he gets in here? You pat him on the back and you say congratulations and enjoy it and tell him not to serve fried chicken next year. Got it. Or collard greens or whatever the hell they serve. And mom, if you watch me and you watch me just say, hell, I apologize. My bad. And here, Richard Williams. He said that if this was 1975 N-word, I would skin you alive. And at that point, I turned to walk over, and then I remember what my mom had always taught me, to be peaceful if it's possible, and I tried my best to be peaceful. The boos that went on there and on their way, they treated this family, and especially my 19-year-old daughter out there. It was all I could do to keep on from crying. Richard Williams' claims of racism directed at his daughters, Venus and Serena Williams, during a recent tournament in Indian Wells, California, are quote-unquote nonsense. Martina Higgins said, what does that sound like? That sounds like something we just saw in the WNBA this season. So, yeah. Yes, she has to become. People are going to lose interest. At the end of the day, you have to win. 100% SSB. 100% SSB. I think Shanks might have left, bro. Why Shanks leave? He just asked me a question. I answered the question. And I say, yeah, people talked about them for being black in a white sport. And he just said, horses, horses, horses. And he put it in all caps 3 times. And I guess he left. Dang, Shanks, we was having a good conversation, little twin. My boy Shanks left. All right, man. Let's get back to the stuff, man. Where we at? Next thing, Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson is the next thing, man. The same day that Mike Brown had his press conference for the Knicks, Mark Jackson uploaded this video. Mark Jackson uploaded this video on social media and things of that sort. So y'all know Mark Jackson wanted the Knicks job. Jason Kidd wanted the Knicks job. Ron Artest wanted the Knicks job. Shout out to Meta World Peace. They all wanted the Knicks job, but they gave it. Buddy from Mike Malone from the Nuggets, he wanted the Knicks job. Excuse me. But Mike Brown ended up getting it. You know what I'm saying? So he posted this today.
To whom it may concern, blessings. You're more than qualified. Your resume says you're more than qualified. Your body of work says you're more than qualified. So it's easy to get depressed. It's easy to get discouraged. It's easy to get down. It's easy to have doubt and start questioning. I don't know who I'm talking to. You done prayed about it, asked about it, and it didn't happen. Well, it didn't happen for a reason. The worst place to be in this world is outside the will of God. Don't miss your shout. What's yours is yours. Stay ready. so you don't have to get ready. That's enough to run on. I gotta go. Blessings. To whom it may concern.
That's a positive message, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I seen the first couple seconds and I was like, dang, he's salty. And then you know, I sent it to folks and everything like that. That's my first time watching the full message. I think he had a pretty positive spin on it. At the end of the day. At the end of it, he said, hey, what's made for you will happen to you. There's no such thing as mistakes. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is, bro. There's no such thing as a mistake. Stay ready. So if I do get another opportunity, despite my qualifications and my resume, I'll be ready for it. So I mean, hey, look, salute to Mark Jackson, bro. So salute to Mark Jackson. That's the spirit. That's the thing to have. I've heard a few, you know, like he said, there's reasons why he isn't in the NBA right now, like stuff beyond the court and stuff behind the scenes. I think he had a bad relationship with. Well, hold on now. Let me not throw out, you know, rumors, but I think allegedly. Let me clear myself of any legal thing. Allegedly, I think I remember hearing something about him and Steph Curry not really getting along. Steph not really liking Mark Jackson. Players not really liking Mark because, you know, they felt like he was forcing his religion upon them. Mark kind of moving in a way that was, you know, kind of a bit allegedly sneaky because, you know, he did have the public persona of being a pastor and a Christian man. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a few reasons why folks said that about Mark Jackson, about why Mark Jackson hasn't been welcomed back in the NBA. I'm convinced those statements he had while as a coach in Golden State must really rub people the wrong way. Yeah, I mean, in 2025, you definitely can't be like, yo, gay folks, you know what I'm saying? Like, and just get a job, bro. Like, gay people, it's a few communities, you know what I'm saying? There's a few communities out there that's powerful, bro. And the gay community, shout out to, you know, the pride community, everything like that. They definitely one of them folks that they got a hand in a lot of stuff for sure. Mark Jackson is never going to be let back into the NBA. He took it better than a lot of people. Yeah. Like I said, like he spun it positively. He spun it positively, bro. Jackson said some things about the LGBT community, and Adam Silver was never going to let that slide. Yeah, you guys know the Dwight Howard clip that I talked about before on the channel. I say that you guys know because someone just resurfaced it recently. But hold on, let me pull it up. Mike moves. That one time Dwight Howard tweeted "Free Palestine" before being ordered to delete it. Yeah, like he tweeted out "Free Palestine." He said less than 10 minutes later, the NBA called him and told him to delete them tweets. And he said, I apologize if I offend anyone with my previous tweet. It was a mistake. Previous tweet was a mistake. I have never commented on international politics and never will. Like, it's certain communities, bro. You just can't, you know what I'm saying? You go against some folks. I don't think the religion aspect that much because of the vast majority of players in the NBA grew up in some form of Christianity. True. But I mean, I'm just telling you what I heard from, you know what I'm saying, people. If you know, you know what I mean? Like it's not sources that I could just grab on and I'm like, 100% trust me, but it's people who I know. You know what I'm saying? People connected to the people. Those are just some of the things I heard. Let me see the thing with Steph Curry first before I move on to the next thing. Steph Curry, Mark Jackson. All right, Mark Jackson sent Steph Curry a message. Steph Curry compares those two. Kerr move a surprise. Steph said he fought. He said he was fighting for them not to fire Mark. Steph Curry's powerful moment with Mark Jackson, told by Andre Iguodala. Did Mark Jackson hold back on Steph? So I've heard from what I heard that Steph, you know what I'm saying, kind of like, you know what I'm saying, with Mark. But according to these, what's on the record is saying, you know, I guess he was a guy that supported him. Let me pull up this thing from Kofi. Shout out to Kofi. I'm gonna get some water in the meantime.
So now the Knicks head coaching job is open. We've heard a lot of other candidates' names, and apparently
apparently, why are we still doing this with Mark Jackson? There's a reason why he got let go with the Warriors, and there's a reason why he hasn't been back for any team in this league. And a lot of people often say, we got fired before he could even figure out what to do with this Warriors team. He wasn't going to figure that out. Like the way his mentality was on offense. Ask Warriors fans. Ask Warriors fans the difference between a Mark Jackson coached offense and a Steve Kerr coached offense. I honestly can't sit here and think that Mark Jackson was going to figure out, oh, I should probably start Draymond Green, and oh, I should probably have more of a motion-based offense instead of just isolation, let him cook style offense. I don't think Mark Jackson was going to figure that out in time. And when you get fired and the team's owner goes like, hey, he couldn't get along with anybody. He couldn't get along with anybody in the organization. That's crazy work. So I know, yeah, the last team that Mark Jackson coached was a 51-win team. And then an actual good coach took it to a 67-win team. I think that Mark Jackson could have made the Warriors a good team. Yeah, I don't think he could have made them a great team. Don't think he's going to figure that out. And I didn't even mention all the off-the-court stuff. Go do research on that. Go do research on that one.
So, yeah. Everything Kofi said was what I heard. This is from what I heard from people, you know what I'm saying, like close to the league type stuff, you know what I'm saying? So, didn't Jackson give Steph the green light to shoot the ball? 100%. And Mark was the one who called Clay and Steph like he said they were going to be the greatest shooting or backcourt of all time in NBA history. Mark Jackson said that. I remember because they say it all the time during games. Also, didn't Jackson give Clay the shine after Monte Ellis was having issues with Golden State? Yeah. And he said he's right, though. Jackson's offense was very NYC heavy, ISO heavy. Put that at the same time. He has a good eye for talent with Steph and Clay. I think it's kind of, what he say is like he was good for laying the foundation. You know how you have different coaches for I agree with that. Jackson would be great in the front office, to be honest. I agree with that. I think people gotta, you know what I'm saying? In life, bro, and professionals, like y'all know as adults and everything like that, like a lot of times it's not even your talent or your abilities. It's can people tolerate you? Can people work with you? Can people be like, if I hire this person, can I spend Monday through Friday with them? And I think, you know what I'm saying, for something like this, for someone who set and laid the foundations for the NBA's last dynasty, you would say that's the latest dynasty they had. That laid the foundation for the dynasty. I think he at least deserves another chance in the front office to do something like that. And put aside, like, am I gonna like this guy? I can't stand Mark. Well, dang, Mark got you 4 championships. So now what? And changed the game of basketball forever. Yeah. So shout out to Mark. W mindset. Keep your head up. You know, you don't have to give him too many pep talks because, but he is, you know what I'm saying, getting paid from it is what it is. He is getting paid from Cam and Mace, so he's not poor. He won't need for anything because he was a part of the best in-game, kind of commentary crew. They started to fall off in their last couple of years before ESPN decided to move on from him, but they were the best, especially before he became a coach. Before he was a coach, that was the best 3-man weave, bro. Van Gundy, Breen, and Mark Jackson. Phew. All right, next up. Okay. Gary Coleman. Rest in peace to Gary Coleman. Hey, what J. Cole say? Hey, Gary Coleman just passed. Well, hold on now. I'm about to say, click on the link. Gary Coleman just passed. Life is short. I'm about to blow up. If you know, you know. That's an old code. That's Friday Night Lights. Anyways, Gary Coleman's ex-wife just failed the lie detector test about his fatal fall. First of all, my first question is, why is she being on a lie detector test 15 years after the man died? So it's like people must know some stuff is fishy. New twist as fuels to the years of speculation. Dive into the full story. Shout out to Complex for writing this. Gary Coleman's ex-wife fails lie detector test. Hold on. Give me a second. This photo looks so awkward now. 100%. Let me get I got to get the audio back right. Give me a second, y'all. Technical difficulties. Okay, bet. Gary Coleman's ex-wife fails lie detector test about his fatal fall. There's been long speculation about the actor's ex, Shannon Price, was somehow involved with his unaliving. This was written by Tara Mahadevin. What it is? Tara Mahadevin. Hold on, let me see if she got a YouTube video. I ain't gonna disrespect your name like that. Tara. Let me see. Tara Mahadevin. Tara Mahadevin. Okay, here it is. Right
I think I struggled my whole life being myself in all situations, like not leaving a part of me somewhere. You know what I mean? Like going home to St. Louis and like being myself in totality and then coming here and being myself in totality.
This is sad.
Everybody, welcome back to Sad Boy Radio. I'm your host, Matt, and today we got a very special guest in the building, a journalist, creative director, radio director now, if that's what you want to call it. What would you call it? An executive producer to a radio station?
Yo, I don't know. I just feel like I'm a journalist. And everything is just kind of comes from that.
You've written for Complex, Fader, Chicago Reader. You've helped break artists such as Saba, Smino, Omar Apollo, giving them their first national interviews. Go ahead and introduce yourself, because I'm not gonna say the last name. Go ahead, say your last name.
It's okay. Everyone's scared. You don't need to be scared.
I'm not gonna say the last name. Go ahead, say your last name.
Tara Mahadevin. This was written by Tara Mahadevin. Hey! All right, let's get into the story, man. Gary Coleman's wife, Shannon Price, took a polygraph test. Why? Sometimes known as a lie detector, to clear up any lingering suspicions. So she said, "Oh yeah, I had nothing to do with it. Put me in a lie detector." Did she failed it? That's crazy. Like you did it. You know you had something to do with it. And you said, "Let me prove my innocence once and for all. Put me on the lie detector test. I can fool it." And you didn't. So now you feel stupid, don't you? I bet you do. Anyways, let's read the story. I don't want to throw any assumptions out there. I'm just reading the story. Mahadevin. To clear up any lingering suspicions that she was involved in her late husband's death. In 2010, Different Strokes star passed away after falling down the stairs in his Utah home and hitting his head. Over the years, many have wondered, and sometimes in documentaries, whether Price was somehow involved in his unaliving. In what appeared to be an attempt to clear her name, Price took I'm sorry, bro. Father, forgive me. Price took a polygraph test on A&E's lie detector, Truth or Deception. In a clip ahead of the show's premiere, former FBI agent and polygraph expert George Olivo tells Price that she failed two important questions related to Coleman's fall. The exams had to do with Gary's fatal fall. Olivo tells Price in the clip, "I asked you the following relevant questions on the test. Did you physically cause Gary's fall? You answered no. I also asked you, did you physically cause Gary to fall that day? And you answered no. And the results were that you failed the exam with the deception indicated to those two relevant questions." Let me say that again. You failed the exam regarding that's not funny. Regarding Gary's fall. She was relatively calmed as she called the results false.
You've earned this.
Oh my gosh. Hold on, I'm a dago. Beer. We not doing that. Give me copyrighted. I'm not playing this. Because I know they're gonna get me out of here if I do. How long is the clip though? Let me see. Okay, it's 1:20. So y'all can watch this on your own time. I'm gonna link the Complex video in the description of this video when I clip it up and stuff like that. So yeah. I'm gonna do that. But yeah. Okay. So you guys can watch that clip for yourselves. I can't play it right now because they're gonna copyright me. Y'all know I'm already on the they're trying to get my channel out of here. There are two things that I know for sure, Shannon. Olivia continued. One, you were not completely honest with me yesterday. Oh my goodness, he didn't let up during this polygraph session. And two, the other thing I know that's 100% certain is that there's more to this story that hasn't been told. Oh my goodness. According to TMZ, Price took the test in January. She was asked if she ever hit Coleman during their relationship, and she purposely didn't help him when he fell. Her answers proved to be inconclusive. Price responded to the polygraph test in a statement to the outlet. We were extremely disappointed with the overall experience of both the polygraph testing and dealing with A&E. Many promises were made and not kept. The testing situation was unfair and uncomfortable, and the testing was performed non-verbally, which I should have refused. From the beginning, it was apparent they cared more about ratings than finding the truth. The American Psychological Association has pointed out that there was, quote unquote, little evidence that polygraph tests can accurately detect lies and that people should, quote unquote, remain skeptical about any conclusion wrung from a polygraph. Price, and Coleman got married in 2007, divorced a year later, and continued living together. So they were, in 2010, Coleman suffered intracranial hemorrhage, because it's not hemorrhoid, but hemorrhage due to his fall. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me look this up right now. I know every time I do this, someone get on me. You didn't graduate college. You don't know what you're talking about. I knew you was a stupid monkey. I know.
Hemorrhage.
There we go. See, intracranial hemorrhage due to the fall. Price said that she discovered Coleman with a pool of blood, and his passing was ruled accidental. Oh, she discovered him. Nah. A 911 recording of the incident later surfaced where Price could be heard rejecting the operator's instructions of how to help Coleman. He was later placed in a coma, and Price took him off of life support after 2 days. Oh, she's guilty. I'm sorry. Hey, I don't believe it, man. Get her out of here. Get her out of here. Off topic, but I actually watched the Cena and Elbow video on an ad a couple days ago. This complex. So this was probably the GOAT one, the GOAT series and stuff like that, where they determine the GOAT. I tell this story a lot all the time, but I want to tell it because you gave me an excuse to tell it. So shout out to SSB for giving me an excuse to tell this story again. When I first got out of college, I was acting in college. My last, probably say about 3 years, ever since I transferred to Georgia State and I was back in the city of Atlanta, I was acting a lot. And one of the acting gigs I did, like my last one, before I started working kind of, as an adult in journalism, was on the set of, it was like the Prom Date movie. I forgot the name of the movie. It was like a prom date movie starring John Cena. Let me see. Prom Date John Cena movie. It was like Blockers. Okay, that was the movie. Blockers. It was Blockers. That was the last movie that I did. And John Cena was on set, and he was like the nicest dude, bro. Like, he walked around, he spoke to everybody. Like, he saw me looking at him, so he came to my table in between takes, started talking to us. And I was just like, hey, man, I'm just holding on. He said, just holding on. And then randomly he walks over to a piano on set, and he just starts playing the piano. If I'm lying, I'm flying. John Cena just randomly walks over and starts playing the piano for everybody, and everybody like runs over with their cell phones and recording John Cena playing the piano for us. Craziest thing, bro. Nicest dude. It's a miracle that I even saw him, because, how can you see the man that's not there? But yeah, like, shout out John Cena, bro. Now lie detector tests aren't used in courts because of too many variables that can be affected by the result. Like being nervous. Like, if you're nervous, it's gonna say you lying. If you're nervous before and your heart is beating, you will fail. Yeah, 100%. Or if you have a high blood pressure or something like that, you can get a spike. 100%. But I think this woman cooked, bro. Like, you telling me your ex-husband, the man that you live with, was on life support 2 days? and you cut him off after 2 days. I don't know, bro. I know folks that's not from something sudden like that. Now, if it's, say, like, rest in peace, my grandfather, right? My grandfather, I believe he was on life support in hospice, right, in his last days. And then I think they eventually, took him off of life support. But up to that point, like my granddad, bro, or he might even pass. I don't even remember it. It was a long time. It was a while ago. But to that point, like he was in homes, senior homes, and hospitals, and he was going from senior home to the hospital to senior home to the hospital. He was doing that for like a year straight, bro. A year straight, like just going from senior home to the hospital. Like he was not in good condition at all. So it's like, even if the decision is still tough, it's like we fought and we tried and we did what we could. Gary Coleman, like a pretty young dude at the time, when he passed, randomly has an accident and is on life support randomly out of nowhere, a young guy, and you make the decision to take him off after 2 days. I don't know if I'm going for that one, bro. It's some conspiracies in Hollywood and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Get her out of here, in my opinion. That's just my belief, my opinion. If she sees this and she's like, oh, Rashad added on to my mental health and he said I was wrong, please don't sue me for it, ma'am. I don't have the money for it. Don't sue me for it. I'm not cussing that, bro. But personally, if someone asks me my opinion, y'all know where I stand. I made my opinion. 2 days too short. 2 days too short for no pun. But Lord forgive me. But yeah, for someone that you were married to and someone that you're living with, 2 days is crazy. You're fine, Rashad. She's the one living with a guilty conscience. 100%. 100%. But I gotta make sure I cover my legal basis. Hey, if you get on this internet and talk, you better make sure your legal basis is covered, because they will get you. Y'all seen the Nicki Minaj stuff and the Meg Thee Stallion and everything like that? They would get you for that stuff. All right, I gotta share the thing again. The Clipse album has leaked. The audio keeps cutting out. That's why I keep going off the screen and screen sharing and stuff like that. The Clipse album apparently leaked. And people were talking about it, and they're like, oh no, the Clipse album leaked. Oh, what will I do? And some people were calling it trash already because, it's 2025 and people are going to call something trash or like fire, an instant classic the second it comes out. And it's like, how can you tell if this is trash or if this is fire? Like, that's crazy. You know what I mean? But regardless, this dude said the fact that y'all can't wait 2 more days for the Clipse album, I'm actually judging. Brother, if you're new to listening to hip hop, let me tell you about a good old time called 2013. No, you don't even have to go 2013. Let's go 2017. The last major album I knew that leaked in its entirety, in order and the way it was Flower Boy. Tyler Creator, Flower Boy, bro. And at the time, I wasn't even listening to Tyler, but since it leaked, I listened to it. I was like, yo, this is crazy. So when it came out, what I did, I went to Target, and because we was going to Target back then, right? This was 2017. And I bought it. I bought the album. And that's when I became a Tyler Creator fan. Was from Flower Boy on, the second half of his career. And the leak really put me onto it. Another leak that made me a big fan of that album was Born Sinner, 2013. My boy had the leak. I came down and visited him in college on my orientation or something like that in my college, where I went my freshman year, Valdosta State. Shout out to the Blazers. And he said, I got that Born Sinner leak. I said, let me hear it. And he played Ville Illuminati. And I was just like, this is crazy. Because, at the time, I'm still listening to dang Yours Truly, or Truly Yours Too, but whatever it was. And this not here is not a preview of what that album gonna bring you, and nothing like that. I shared things that acquire me, or things that admire me. I'm empty for diary, something like that. I read my page for and I bleed for you, writing these words, hoping to reach like each one of you. Come on, man. If you feel like my stuff is weak when you see me on the street, then speak. I read from you. This sample is yelling, loop me. Miss Hill, please don't sue me. Because I ain't one of these rappers out here fronting like I got it. I ain't really got it. Throwing thousands in the with Drizzy. Difference is I'm throwing 4, he throwing 50. Lord forgive me, rapper saying user. Ain't you supposed to tip more? I don't see no. Come on, man. J. Cole, like, so I was on that, right? So I was still hyped from the EP before the album. So when I heard the Illuminati, and I was like, oh, this is stupid. J. Cole got him one. And then it went into Power Trip. I said, oh, he got one with this. Matter of fact, I might listen to the dang Born Center tonight, just talking about it, getting me excited all over again like it's 2013. I say all this to say, bro, leaked rap albums is a part of hip hop. This is a part of the old. They did the old school rollout. They did magazine interviews, sit down features. They did the long form on camera interviews with traditional journalists. They didn't go to eat hot wings. They didn't go to, like I said, like Tyler Creator said. Shout out to Sean Evans and Hot Ones. He asked great questions. They didn't do the wacky different interviews styles. They didn't do promo on Kaisenat Stream. And Push made a point to say, hey, we're going to journalists. We're not doing this. We're doing it the traditional way because that's the traditional way we came up. And through tradition, I feel like journalists, they're a little more kind of qualified to speak on these things because they're trained to have a certain ear. They look at things from a objective point of view, as opposed to just like a bias. This is that, blah, 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 blah. I can't believe I'm a fanboy, blah, blah, blah. Everything you put out is trash or everything you put out is goated. You know what I'm saying? And this is just a part of the old school rollout. Having your album leaked online. Welcome back to the blog era, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to the Clipse, bro. I'm not listening to the leak, but I will be listening on Friday. Nate has been saying this for a while. 2025, we're liking good music. 2 albums I would recommend for Nate that came out last week were D1, Hypocritical Hop, and Larizi, his 7-track EP that he released with PJ Moore and Pardon Me, I'm Different. Those are 2 from last week. Today, Key's album came out on all platforms. So Emotional 2. That one, I'm not even gonna lie. First listen, I don't like it as much as I like So Emotional 1. The original, I thought So Emotional 1 had a coherent message. It was like, and it was really deep. It was talking about kind of Black men's vulnerability and everything to show their emotions, especially as people who present themselves with the hard posterior, exterior, things of that sort. Exterior, excuse me. And Key was one of those guys, and he addressed that in hard, soft in the middle. Pause, Two-Face Venom. I just on it when I fall in love. I be on. Like, he was talking about being a gangster that had feelings, and you know what I'm saying, or being like a tough guy who had feelings, being a street dude from Atlanta, from the tough side of Atlanta, east side, but like having feelings for a girl, you know, and feeling bad when a girl don't want them, or when a girl goes, Miami too much. Hey, do you like me? Yes or no? I felt like the original So Emotional was just more focused. This one was kind of like, it started off singing and then it kind of went off to some, you know what I'm saying, some hard stuff. And it's like, I like hard stuff. Y'all know I like 808s and beating and all that bass thumping, but I don't really want that on the album, you know what I'm saying, about like love and vulnerable emotions and Black men being ever. Because So Emotional came out like right before the pandemic, like right before the shutdown. So I'm listening to that in a time where like my emotions are all over the place, and I'm listening to it. I'm like, yo, I really resonate with this piece of art, and I like appreciate. I wanted to ask him about it, but he wasn't trying to talk about it on camera at the time. But yeah, that came out today. So Emotional 2 from Key. What else came out recently? I think that's pretty much it in terms of full albums. And Larry June's dropping this week as well, in addition to the Clipse. And then next week, Anicia Grady Baby's coming out. That's some turn up stuff. So there's something for everybody, Nate. Like if you like the old school boom bap, it's old school boom bap out there. If you like the Neptunes Pharrell sound, it's people who making the Neptunes Pharrell sound music. If you like jazzy rap, there's jazzy rap. If you like, Ruben Vincent is coming out with a joint. Shout out Ruben Vincent up there in Jersey. He's coming out with his joint with Ninth Wonder. It's on the way. So Saba just released his project this year. I really like. Lil Sims, her project is really nice. It's just a lot of good stuff, bro. It's a lot of good stuff out there. And Billy too, Suave is still my favorite personal album of the year. So Jid dropped last week his EP, his Prelude EP, his Prolux, where he's just rapping his behind off of 4-track. So there's some good stuff out there, bro. You just got to search for it. It's just not on the mainstream, you know what I'm saying? Especially the older you get, you're not just going to connect with the mainstream as much as you used to as a kid. It's just life. It's just how it goes. It's how your ear goes. All right. Next thing, Young Thug. So Young Thug said, if you're a rapper and you're a rat, just go gospel twin. He said, you got to go gospel twin. Lecrae said, you're welcome over here too, fam. It ain't a graveyard. It's a garden. And, he just said what he said, man. He said, I thought you weren't a gospel rapper, my guy. He said, tap into the latest interviews and music. I don't run from it, but I understand I don't fully fit into any box. What you trying to say, Lecrae? I'll check it out. Work with Gunna. Here's his song with Victor Thompson. I did not know he had a song with Victor Thompson. Gunna and Lecrae on the way to help Thug find God. Isn't he already with God? Truly honorable under God. That's what he is. That's his name. They never heard Church Clothes series, fam. Get them right. Lecrae, nothing. Thank you for saying something. Yeah. I mean, this is just what it is, bro. Like, Lecrae is the biggest in the Christian rap space. And, so for him to speak was big on this, to diss gospel and to show it as, like, people who are weaker. Like, it's almost like you saying, like, it's like the if you scared go to church thing. Like, if you scared go to church, is insinuating that, like, people who go to church is sweet. People who go to church will mess you up, bro, if you push them to them limits. Because a lot of them folks came from the from, you know what I'm saying, from that life and everything before they got saved, before they changed their lives and stuff like that. So it was like, I don't know where this can, perception of you equate niceness with weakness. Like Jesus, like they try to push Jesus and this and that because Jesus like a nice dude, you know what I'm saying? Laid back, chill. Jesus came with that rap. Boy, you better get in that word, learn something. I know you behind that wall, them cave for about 2 years, whatever. Nate said, I don't understand. What you don't understand? What don't you understand, Nate? Let me know. Let me check this thing. I hate when the notification little bell is up. All right, cool. Oh, that was it. He saw it. Shout out to JD McCrae, man. Shout out to JD McCrae. Let me see what Nate said. Oh, you said you're agreeing with me is what you're saying. You don't understand Young Thug. Got you. We here, twin. All right, next thing. Nicki versus Jay-Z. This, I don't know what the heck going on with Nicki versus Jay-Z. It's just been wait, hold on. Let me see this. Oh, she's talking about Cardi's. My homegirl talking about Cardi B. That is funny. That's funny. That's funny, bro. That's hilarious, dog. Shout out to C. Alexandra, bro. Chelsea Alexandra now. She changed her name a lot. But okay. Let me look at this thing on Instagram, bro. Here we go. What is this whole thing about? I just don't understand why people always think that. Yeah, like, it's crazy. So she shared this from 50 Cent. Jay-Z is trending because the judge has granted Ramir requests to move forward with this case, and the judge has demanded Jay-Z to respond to Ramir paternity lawsuit. But by July 18th, Jay-Z hashtag. She said, oh, this is why he was trending the other day. I don't know. Hope all is well. To God be the glory. Oh, this is the kid. I think this is the kid, right, who's saying he's Jay-Z's son. But, like, the thing is, like, the woman was, like, 17 when Jay-Z allegedly impregnated her. Let me look that up. Because I was looking at Nicki Minaj just talking about Jay-Z all day. And I was like, why is she so mad at Jay-Z, bro? Like, what happened? Let me see. Jay-Z Ramir. I spelled his name wrong. Who is Ramir Shatters Weight? An explainer of Jay-Z's alleged son. He's 31-year-old, hoping to overtake a paternity test. But his mom was like, it's something like his mom was young. That's the reason why he won't say it. Because his mom was young. But I'm just trying to see how old his mom was. How did Ramirez's mom meet Jay-Z? He was known then as Rock. Hold on, let me see. He was known then as Rock in 1992 in Philadelphia through her friend Kalisha Allen through Daily Mail. Jay-Z used to be in Trenton all the time. Shout out to South Jersey. Shout out to Trenton, New Jersey. According to the notarized affidavit filed in New Jersey and witnessed by Allen, Wanda alleged that she and the Hard Knock Life rapper had protected intercourse, but stated that the protection broke. And they claimed that the encounter happened in his aunt's Brooklyn apartment when she was 16 and Jay was 22. So that's what it is. Okay. She was 16 and he was 22. That's why he don't want to claim the child, bro. Look at me as a kid. Dang, bro. Where did he grow up? He grew up in Philadelphia. He now lives in New Jersey as his legal endeavors are being taken care of there. This man rap? He's pursuing a rap career just as Jay-Z did. The Philly rhymer has released songs on streaming apps, The Way You Move, Count My Blessings, New Wave, and more. Can you play here? Can I play here? All right. Dang, what the heck? What's his name? Ramir? All right, I want to see like 5 seconds. See 5 seconds. Let's see what they see. Ramir. He got to wrap up. Let me see. It's just Jay-Z. Where the song at? Jay-Z's alleged son. This was 10 years ago. He been doing this for a minute. He been on Jay-Z behind for a little minute, bro. Pause. This is official. Where is the music, bro? Okay. Here we go. All right. Jay-Z's son. Oh, this some Afro beats.
Where she move, I just want to dance with you.
Shouts out, bro. Shouts out. He got a little vibe. Jay-Z been in too much BS lately. He need to lay low. Jay-Z lay low as much as he can, bro. Jay-Z don't do interviews. Jay-Z don't speak much. He performed for the first time in over I don't know the last time Jay-Z performed. Jay-Z might not have performed since the dang when Pharrell was named the new person at Louis Vuitton, the new director at Louis Vuitton. That might have been the last time Jay-Z performed before, he just popped out at Cowboy Carter, which was crazy, by the way, when he did in Paris. According to Ramir's social media accounts, he's pursuing a rap career just as Jay-Z did. The Philly rhymer has released songs on streaming apps, The Way You Move, Count My Blessings, New Wave, and more. Does Ramir have children of his own? He has no children of public knowledge. Let me look at one clip of an interview, because you got to be careful with these too. They'll get you with them too. I'm on copyright watch.
She's your father. I really do. And if it's not, why you can't prove me wrong? It's not.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. That's a valid question. If I'm not your son, why can't you just take the test? Why can't you just take the test? But once again, I gotta always say this for Jay-Z and stuff like that. Rock Nation, Jay-Z, the Reform Alliance, all them people, them folks been cool with me, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Like the one interaction I had with them, the couple interactions I've had with them, do my old job and stuff like that, them folks been cool, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you. So shouts out to them for that. Nah, he shouldn't have to take the test. Why shouldn't he take the test? SB. Shout out Coco Jones for getting on the cover of Vibe, bro. Oh, this is Vibe's website. Shout out to Vibe for writing this story. I'm proud of Coco Jones, dude. Proud of Coco Jones. He said that's like holding someone against their will. I don't think so. If someone wanted you to take a test, a DNA test, to see if you their dad or not, bro. Like, if it ain't your kid, take the test. Take the test. It ain't nothing to do a little 1-2. Woo woo. You wait in a little office. They call your name. You take the test. Your samples there. They match up the samples. The results come back later. It ain't that bad. Like, what do you have to lose? Like, because if you get a false test, okay, just take another one. Let's take 3 tests. Let's take 3 to 5 tests to make sure the results are the results, right? Because Jay-Z got a lot of money. This kid he's entitled himself to a lot of money if he is Jay-Z's kid. And Jay-Z loses a lot of money because cancel culture, people going to be like, you was 22 years old messing with a 16-year-old. Karl Malone, mailman. But a lot of people not going to care. They're going to be like, that was a long time ago. Jay-Z is darn near 52 now. I don't even think darn near. I think he is just 52. Hold on, let me see. Jay-Z age. He's 55. Gosh. Dang. According to Kevin Hart. Anyway, shout out Jay-Z, bro. But yeah, it's 33 years ago. We on to bigger and better things. He addressed that by saying he was a bad person in 444. We moved on. That's Beyonce's husband. I don't know. Me personally, I think if you got a kid that says, yo, take this test, you're my dad, please, I just want acceptance and something to know that you're my dad. Because it was this thing with John Michaels, right? John Michaels was rapping. I went to school with him at Georgia State as well. He went to Morehouse as well. And John Michaels can rap. I think he kind of slowed down on the releases and stuff like that. I seen him a couple years ago, but when he was dropping, he could really rap. And after I met him, I just looked him up to kind of follow him. And I seen like everything was like, is this Tupac's son? And like in his raps, he'd be like, bro, I'm not Tupac's son. And it's crazy because his dad died. So it was like that just added fuel to the fire of like, is this Tupac's son? But yeah, I don't know, man. I say all that to say John Michaels can't get a test from Tupac to know if that was his dad or not. This kid right here, his son. I mean, the dad is alive, the alleged dad. He still is alive. So, you know what I mean? I think if you're alive, take the test, bro. I think it's a cool thing to do. I think it's the right thing to do, me personally. Let me share this again. Get the screen sharing right. So is this what the secret son of Tupac, Shawn Michaels, Tupac's son, Shawn Michael? Yeah, this is still like everywhere, bro. Shawn Michael, 2013, We Fight. The untold story about Tupac. And I know this photo wasn't real of Tupac and Michael Jackson. That's funny. Yeah, Shawn Michaels, bro. He ain't post, bro. Why he stopped rapping? I need to text him, huh? Let me see if he still posts. He might have a new page. Oh, 3 weeks ago. Okay. All right, John. Hey, y'all listen to that new John Michaels, bro. What are we talking about? John Michael. I'm playing like 5 seconds of it. It sounded like he going Caribbean. Oh, let me turn this down. Oh, I ain't even shared the tab. I'm tweaking. So Puka Naka should do the DNA test with his ex-fiance. Yeah. If she's unsure that that's his baby, take the test. It'll save a lot of money. All right, 5 seconds is John Michael. That boy's still rapping. Sound like Fab. Shawn Michaels be rapping, bro. Shawn Michaels be rapping. my boy Jason still be rapping. Y'all boys tap in, man. For sure, 100%. Hold on, let me skip 5 seconds. We're gonna go to the middle of the song. Of course, it's 5 seconds. He's not rapping, but John Michaels be rapping too. But I don't think that's Tupac's son, bro, because he said in a freestyle, "I'm not Tupac's son." I texted him one time when I found out in college that like the internet thought he was Tupac's son. I said, "Hey, bro, are you Tupac's son?" And he stopped texting me back, or he just ignored it. And the next time I text him, he was like, "Thank you, brother." But yeah, Jay-Z, if this your son, bro, just take the test. If this not your son, take the test. It clear you everything. So that's apparently what the whole Nicki Minaj thing was about. Insane. All right. And then she was also talking about Rock Nation dealing with the case of Megan Thee Stallion that's been reopened recently, where the case was her former photographer was a gay man, but Meg forced him to stay in a car with her as she was allegedly being intimate with another woman, and she was forcing him to watch. So yeah, there's that. Just a lot of drama. But Nicki brought that up too. She was like, Rock Nation got to deal with this too. Anyways, we at the end of the stream. Mexican rapper, he said that he couldn't get into the BET Awards with his Mexican flag. This was during the ICE protest in LA. That was like the biggest news in world news. Dolce won the award, the first award of the night, I think televised, and she called out Donald Trump directly and spoke about ICE. It was an uncomfortable silence in there, and then it was just kind of eventual claps. My thing before I even play this video is I am so tired of performative like culture, quote unquote. Don't say you for the culture. Don't say you for the black people when we overcame and we did this and a lot of feel good BS. And then when it comes down to talk about the real stuff, we ghost or we can't talk about it or we scared to talk about it because sponsors and number and money gonna go away. If we for the culture, we fully for the culture. It's no we for the culture until it could impact our wallets. That ain't the culture. You ain't really for the culture then. You just for yourself when it's convenient. Might have to run that back. If you're for the culture until it impacts your wallets or your life, you might not actually be for the culture. You might just be for yourself. So I'll say that first. We'll play this.
Rapper OC Chris says he was kicked out of the BET Awards for repping the Mexican flag. He spoke on it live on K104, the radio station in Dallas, with OC Chris stating that he was trying to enter the BET Awards with his Mexican flag, but was denied access. They told him he couldn't bring his flag in, so OC Chris tried to put it in his pocket, but they still did not let him inside. Let's take a listen on what the rapper said and what they made him do in order to enter the BET Awards.
I have the Mexican flag over my shirt like this. He talking about you can't come in with that flag. I'm just wearing it like a cape or something. Yeah. Like that. I'm trying to rap. I'm going to BET Awards with the Mexican flag. Talking about you need to throw it away or you can't come in here. I walk outside, put it in my pocket, and then I walk inside. He had like 2 security guards come up to me. You can't come in here. You have to take it out your pocket. And it made me throw it in the trash.
Now, many people are having mixed emotions after BET allegedly made OC Chris throw away his Mexican flag in order to get in. Others are saying OC Chris should have left. But let me know your thoughts down below. This for the Fools, keeping you up to date with all the trending rap and news.
Yeah, that's how I feel about the situation, bro. It's like if you run away from controversy for the sake of kind of corporate interests and everything like that, and partnerships and endorsements and promotions, I don't think you're really for the culture. I think you're for swag surfing. You might not be for the culture. You might be for swag surfing. You might not be for the culture. You might be for comfortable jokes about fellow rich people, Kurt Franklin jokes. You might not actually be for the culture. You might just be all about respectability, politics, and anything that's going to keep massa happy. Oh, we talking for real. Last thing I want to look up is Dwan B. Someone told me to look at Dwan B because Dwan B's channel breaks down the history of Black American music. They was like, check this out because he break it down. Frat Boys of Misinformation. Why do D.L. Hughley and Ricky Smiley keep lying to Black America? Live ice race in Los Angeles, real-time coverage and the community response. Oh, this channel looks interesting, bro. I ain't gonna lie. That look like some interesting stuff, bro. I subscribe. Someone they told me about Antoine Daniels, bro. Antoine Daniels. So I subbed to him or whatever because they just shouted him out. I was like, okay, I'll check him out. Bruh, like my whole recommended because he uploads so much is just Antoine Daniels. So probably some people feel like that with me. But like it's just Antoine Daniels. And like he mostly does like black people, y'all suck. Do this instead. Me personally, I'm not a fan of anybody behind a podcast mic that's just like black people. You know what y'all problem is? Y'all too lazy. Because you sitting down behind a podcast mic, bro. Like, what are you doing? Like, literally, what are you doing calling someone lazy, dog? I don't know. Sly Stone, the unsung hero who shaped funk, hip hop, and more. Yo, this dude, the architect of black music through the mainstream.
Wow, that so just off top, that was such an ingenious idea. Let me hire the guy that you already like, so that you've already gotten through 90% of the muck when they come back to them with an album. That's I see why.
Oh, you talking me about him? My bad, SSB. Nah. Who you talking about? Who you talking about? You talking about Anton Daniels? You talking about Anton Daniels, or are you talking about Dwan B? Because I subbed to Anton Daniels, and my whole feed is now Anton Daniels. Like, hold on, I'm gonna go to my homepage right now. Let's see what's on the homepage. Okay, so you got Kai Cenat with the Ball Brothers, right? You got Travis Scott. Shout out Splash Squad. Shout out Caitlin doing her thing. We got some WNBA, Reggie, Kayla Charles, because I just subscribed to Kayla Charles, Layla, and Tony Snow, of course. Home team, folks. If you know, you know. Friends of the channel. If you know, you know. Uncovered videos. Kaylin Clark. This from Mick Talks Hoops. All he does is just Caitlin Clark videos. Duke Dennis giving a story time about being arrested. Oh, that's interesting. I'll probably watch that afterwards. More hip hop, basketball. This wasn't a good refresh, but it's usually just Anton Daniels. I'll be like, gosh, Lee, like half the thing is Anton Daniels, bro. Shouts out to Geneva. Yeah, but it's like Anton Daniels. This is the first time, I'm not gonna lie to you, in probably a week where my whole thing wasn't Anton Daniels. Anyways, let me go back.
Wow, that so just off top.
Anton, oh yeah, bro. Yeah, he crazy. I can watch that guy and here and there, but I was only watching that guy because of LA riots. Oh, okay, all right, yeah. My whole feed is now Anton Daniels now. I did not know that was SSB. Cause that's how you came on the stream, bro. I remember that because you said after that, right? I was in LA at the time, and you was like, "Yeah, I just came upon you randomly because of the LA riots." That guy know how to hit our nerve and the insecurities of people. It's just like I just don't like black guys that get behind a podcast mic and say, "You know what's wrong with you Negroes? Y'all Negroes," and it's like, bro. Who made you the president of Black Labor? Like, made you the president of the Black Labor Department? Like, this is crazy. I don't know. I just don't like that stuff.
That was such an ingenious idea. Let me hire the guy that you already like, so that you've already gotten through 90% of the muck when they come back to them with an album. That's I see why they hired you. So. You're now at CBS working under Clive Davis, and you're out of Chicago. I know the Chicago record industry in the 60s was just insane. Everything was there's so much being recorded in Chicago at that time. Talk to us now about now you're at CBS and you're starting to see now are they brought in the black record division. How did that work out when it came to you? Did you see anything between you and just say Motown or Philadelphia International just now coming around? Were those your competition, those type black record labels, or is CBS still going up against Capitol and those other big boys? What was going on with the black divisions during this time?
Well, The other labels, Motown, Festival, really was not my concern because I know they did not have the power, the strength, or the finances, the kind of budget I had to work with there at CBS. RCA had a couple of black acts, but not anything significant. But now I have this army, this team, and this is very, very strong. I mean, this is unheard of. Most companies, let's take RCA for instance, they would have 2 black men to work the entire country, one for the East Coast, one for the West Coast, and that was it. And the other labels, similar kind of a strategy, and some of them didn't have it at all. They just hired them as needed. But now here I have a full-time staff committed to the company full-time. So now it's just a matter of coming with the product. And that was the next thing we started working on. And that was most unusual because most companies, they would get the product out there first, and then once the demand is there, they will add the staff as needed. But with me, I had the staff in place. The army is ready to go. All we need now is the product. And that's basically the way that it was set up.
So you not only got the job, you created the system that allowed it to become a machine that pushed them ahead and out there.
Okay, so this is talking about like Black American, like, you know what I'm saying, like kind of the architects of it in America, right? Still, it's like I'm talking about the structure of music. The structure of music, when you hear the 808s, the drums, the doom, the doom, the doom, the doom, the doom, the doom, the doom. When you hear like I was watching the thing with the Pelicans, right, the other day. Hold on. Right, and they went to this historic square in New Orleans, and they took the rookies there. And they look at the Pelicans. Pelicans. There you go. Where we at? New Orleans Pelicans. There you go. Thank you, CJ. And then some availabilities. This rebuild. Where they take the kids. Where they took the kids around for a day. Recap, kids, take the kids, one-on-one. Did they get rid of the video? There's a whole video of them taking the kids around, the rookies. Hey, here it is. I found it. So you see, they took him to the square, and this guy is, this is the base, in my opinion, of Black music. The rhythm, the dance, it comes from these drums. Where do these drums come from? So I don't know, bro. Like, you could talk about the structure and the history of Black American music and everything like that. Where did that come from, bro? Came from Africa, bro. Like, I don't know. I stand on that. I stand on it. Even after seeing this, even after seeing, you know what I'm saying, the clip of that you told me to watch, sir, I still stand on what I said. Like, I think it comes from Africa, bro. It just because, like, I went to like African summer camps where we was doing this, you know what I'm saying? Like, we were doing all this type of African history type of stuff. And like the drums, but you hear those drums, the influence and the bass of that, and like just the bass lines. Our dancing music, like in New Orleans, like we got like bounce music. Like you hear that in Atlanta, the bounce of the 90s Atlanta Freaknik style music. And now the 808s of the trap and everything like that. Like, it's at the baseline of everything, bro. It's drums and stuff like that, man. From these drums. So yeah. I stand on what I said. It is what it is. This was a 2-hour stream, man. 2-hour stream. I appreciate y'all for popping up. I know the Ball brothers were literally on Cox in that stream, so the fact that you guys showed up at the same time means a lot to me. I did this thing before, Dane. Like, a lot of times my goal is to start stream by 2:30 a.m. Eastern time. I'm finishing stream now before 12:30 a.m. Wow. You guys take care of yourselves, man. Have a good morning. Have a good evening. Have a good afternoon. Have a good day. Have a good night. Whenever you're watching this. Man, what? Nate talking about I got to get some content on myself. Nate, you been ghost, bro. Nate been ghost, dog. Nate been in my comments. He been in my chat. Nate, you need to get back to work. Nate. It's time, brother. But yeah, I appreciate it. Great stream. If nobody else told you guys today, I care for you. My name is Rashad Milligan. This is the road to 10K subs. I will be live again tomorrow on this channel. Same place. He's a video a week ago. Yeah, for sure. Same time. Well, no. I can't say same time. I don't know when I'm going to go live. But I'm going to be going live at some point tomorrow. Why? Because I'm live each and every single day on this channel. Until next time, please take care of yourselves. Nate, thank you. SSB, thank you. Even my boy Shanks, the Indiana fan, who said that, the black girls didn't face black girl and black boy racism. Even thanks to you, Shanks. Y'all made it a great stream. I'll see y'all tomorrow. All right. Peace.
Rashad, why you didn't hit me up? What's up, Rashad? Hey, Rashad.
What's up, Rashad?
Thank you, Rashad.
Brother, I love you, brother.
What's up, Rashad? What it do, boy?
Hey, Rashad.